after he pushed me, I'm like, who your sister, man? He like, you know who my sister is. I'm like, yo, get out my face. I'm going to swing on you. He like, don't talk about it. He like, be about it. Now, first and foremost, I ain't down with the slogans, but also he got me in a mystery. You're talking about your sister. Who's your sister, B? So he comes up, he run up and he straight grab me. I'm like, man, let me go. He like, stop playing with Jazz. Stop playing with Jazz. That's my sister. That's my baby sister. I don't even want to. So he grabbing me. So I'm like, man, boom. I just straight punched him. So boom, he hit me on the side. So now we tussling. So I run him, boom, straight to the building, right? Because we was just like, at first just grabbing each other, just tussling. But we was throwing some punches here and there. I'm like, man, I'm going to just power run him. So he had me at first going towards the building. So I'm like, he pushed me, and I'm like, boom. So I get him down on the ground. He's swinging on me. He don't even care that I'm like choking him. I'm like, why you running up on me? Why you running? I'm losing it. All of a sudden, everybody is crowding. I can see everybody crowding. But I'm like in a zone where I guess I just blanked out. It's a sad story too, because it's more like, it's so deeper than that. I'm not giving y'all the full parts, but it's, getting beat on from home, can't really do what I want to do and all this. And like, now you a random coming up to the school trying to run up upon me? No, not gonna happen, Captain. So I'm like, who you run up on? He like, so he steady swinging. So he grabbing me. I don't even care that he's grabbing me. All of a sudden, I feel somebody just straight grab me and throw me off him. So when they did that, I popped back in and I'm like, okay, maybe it's a teacher. But when I looked, it was Junior. He like, buck up. Now this dude lip has bust. Okay? So I'm looking like, he like, run. The security coming. So you hear the security like, hey, break up the fight, So I grab my book bag. He like, go. And I just break running. I just broke running. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm thinking about my shirt. My shirt is stretched up. Like, you can see nothing but skin. So I'm like, what just happened? So I'm looking like, and as I'm looking back, I see Jazz. And she just like, and I'm like, that's what I said. I said, you be, you know what I'm saying? Straight up. And I looked at her and she was looking at me, but from afar. And I just kept going and I turned around and I ran a little bit more. I ran a little hard and fast this time. Get on the bus. I'm just sitting there tripping. So it's people loud on the bus. I'm just like, man, like what just happened? Zip, 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 zip. My phone. It's Jazz. I'm like, I'm not picking up. This girl is, I'm talking about raping the phone, stalking the phone. She is blowing the phone completely off the chart. So I'm like, you know what? She like, so you and your friend gonna jump my brother? I'm like, bye, click. I hung up on her. So I'm like, at this moment, like, do I tell my mom? I was going to tell her straight up. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to tell her. I get off the bus. It's another fight. When I get off the bus and the bus pull off, and I just happen like, because it's the busy street before we cross the other street. So I happen to just look across the street as I'm walking. I always just looking at my surroundings. Y'all stop. I'm looking. It's Beth and Fernisha again, because Beth don't supposed to be on that side of the street, and they are into it, right? And it's real bad. So I see the sister, her girlfriend out there. It's a lot going on. So I'm like, do I go help? But see, I said we was cool. I adapt with you. When my skin touch your skin, I feel like we all in. So I'm like, why not? So I gone on ahead. Cars coming. Shoo, shoo, shoo. So I'm just waiting like playing ducky goose. You know what I'm saying? So they stop because they see, like, oh, let this kid go. So I go on here. I run across the street. I'm like, hey, yo. So Fernisha straight up handling Beth. Buku, Beth throwing punches, but it ain't landing. Beth was throwing some punches, but Beth must have put in work because Shorty was looking like she was kind of doozed up. So I'm like, hey, chill. So I grabbed her, boom, and I pushed her. She say, who is you? And she ran up like, oh, this your friend? And she grabbed me. I'm like, let me go. So I'm like, stop. So I had her, like her wrist, her arms, but her wrist. I'm like, stop, chill. I'm like, what's wrong with you? She like, no, tell your friend that she better stay from off this side. I don't like her. I don't even want her talking to my sister. I'm like, what's the problem? She like, let me go. I'm like, don't headbutt me. And so I let her go. I'm like, chill. She like, you lucky, Beth. You lucky. And I'm going to tell your mama, because I know your mama be getting up in your, like, straight like that. I'm like, you can tell my mama. I'm like, come on, Beth. So me, Beth, and Cynthia. And now this is the funny part. Beth girlfriend, Darnisha, Bernice's sister, walked straight off with her sister. She didn't even try to stop the fight. Like, come on. So as we walking, I'm like, Beth, why your girl let, you know what I'm saying, her sister do that? Beth had scratches on her face. I'm like, yo. She like, I appreciate you. She like, no, I'm finna get her. I'm finna come back. I'm like, no. Because when it's like, when you cross that side, you could go inside this, how can I say, it's a lot, but the lot takes you into a complex. And it's like, the complex, it's a lot of complexes right now. And that's the place you want to be, like smoking at the park, chilling. It's a lot of people just over there in a complex. If you ain't never lived in a complex, you slipping. Like, you ain't got to go out to go have no fun. The fun is in the complex. All these apartments, all these townhomes, we finna get lit so people can just smoke, like, and walk around and chill, walk their dogs. Like, it was a nice area over there. And so Beth like, no, I'm gonna see her. I got her. I'm like, what happened? So she like, I was going over there to go cop. She like, and as I'm copping, she come right up over there and was like, oh, what you doing over here? And I said, shut up. And she ran up on me and it started from there. So she like, that girl, you know what? That girl, she just took my bud because I dropped it. So I'm like, wait, how much did you get? She like, I got a lot. I'm like, how much? She like, I got like $200 worth. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah. I will go back. She like, nah, I'm finna call right now for the call Darnisha and tell her straight up. So I'm like, why would she I'm like, I don't think she like you. She like, she do. She love me. So Cynthia like, I ain't gonna even say nothing. So boom, we kept walking. So I'm thinking like, Cynthia never get into the fights. You never, like, Cynthia don't never, like, brawl out. This your friend. Not just any friend. Your best friend. And I just had Julia that I ain't even fully known for a year. Yeah, he went crazy on me. He helped me out. Didn't know why. Like, he told me to run, and that part stuck with me. So she ended up going in the crib. I goes in the crib. My mom is not even in the house. Caleb not in the house. My dad not in the house. So I'm like, man, Marky, because he would have been there about now because I had already came home. But, you know what I'm saying, normally when I come home, he always come a little bit behind me. So it's like I would have been at home already, but I stopped and handled that situation. You know what I'm saying? So he should have already been here. So I'm like, man, now I'm concerned, like, what could he be? I'm like, I'm going to call Nana. So I call Nana. She like, hey, baby. I'm like, hey, Nana. I'm like, you told DeMarc? She like, no. I'm like, he haven't even called? She like, no, he haven't called. I'm like, that is strange. I'm like, Nana, can I tell you something? She's like, yeah, of course. You could tell me anything. I'm like, but can you not tell Mom? She's like, oh my God, you know where he at? I'm like, no. I don't know where he at. She was like, baby, you could tell me anything. I won't tell your mom. I'm like, okay. So Marky did come over. She like, okay. I'm like, but he came like drunk, like a little bit tipsy, like if he was drinking. He what? I'm like, please, Nana. No. Your mama need, please, Nana, no. Well, I'm telling you that. Come on, Nana. See, I'm not going to tell you the rest. I'm not going to tell. See, that's why I don't like to even be open. She like, because this is serious, baby. He could be hurt. I'm like, I don't think he's hurt. I'm like, let me finish. I'm like, I had my friend to pick him up and he supposedly got dropped off there. And she said that he got dropped off at a house with a birdhouse in front of it, right? So I'm telling her. So she like, a birdhouse? I'm like, yeah. She like, it's a couple of people on this block with birdhouses. So I'm like, maybe you can knock on the doors and see. She like, I'm not knocking on no one's door. I will call the police or call your grandpapa. I'm like, okay. I'm like, please, you promise not to tell mom, right? She said, okay. But I'm like, I don't know where yet. He's supposed to came. So she like, okay. Roshan, I will not say nothing to your mom. But next time anything like this happen, you should go to your mom first. I'm like, I'm going to tell her. So she like, okay. So boom, we hang up. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm just sitting there like, my brother. Zip, 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 zip. My phone is steady going off. So I look, I see his legs. So I'm like, yo, what's up? She like, you good? I'm like, yeah. She like, yo, I got to tell you something. You going to be straight, all right? I'm like, what you got to tell me? She like, nah, I just talked to Junior. He might be getting kicked out of school. I'm like, why would he be getting kicked out of school? Like, why would he be getting kicked out? So yeah, he got 3 strikes already towards him. I'm like, no, but that was my fight. So she was like, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He said he want to cover for you. I'm like, but why? She was like, we'll talk to you tomorrow when you come to school. So boom, I'm hanging up and I'm like mad confused. And I'm worried because it's like, where's my brother? All you hear is, front door now open. So I'm like, Mom. She like, I'm going to hurt Mark so bad. No one's going to be... Roshan, I put that on your life. I put that on your daddy, boo, man. Everything I love from my Zaza, She was talking about Zaza. She was talking about drinks, but you know, she was talking about her activities. But she was like, from all the stuff I like, but for y'all, Zaza. She was like, she was gonna hurt him. She put it on Za. She put it on her drinks. She put it on me. Gayla put that. Like, she was putting it on everybody. I'm just sitting up there. She like, he did not go to school. I'm like, he didn't go to school. Like, that's not like him. Because Marky is smart. And he don't like school, but he goes there and he ace it. Okay? Like, straight up. Like, my brother is a genius. And still as this day, my brother is a genius. Okay? Knows the answer for sure. So I was just like, he didn't go to school. She's like, I'm telling you. He better be hurt. They better, you know what? I'm going to put out a report. So she started making phone calls. And she was telling everybody, like, he's been missing for now a day and a half. So then she calls, you know, a couple of friends. Then she tell my grandpapa. And, you know, now it's just like, it's going all over, right? My dad still has to be at work because, you know, at the fire department, you have to spend the night there. So my dad is really not there all the time. But you can catch him on a good Sunday, right? So I'm just sitting there like, oh, my God, like, I hope nothing happened to him. So my mama like, you know what? I'm going to send him away. I'm like, where are you going to send him to? I don't know. Maybe boot camp. Because I'm tired of him. I am tired of it. So she just expressing how tired she is. So as the day progressed, my mom is still calling people, still talking about the situation. So I'm in my room, coming back and forth out my room. So I'm like, man, you know, Junior did say he having a little small little dig. So I called Piper because I really wanted to know if she was going. So I called Piper. I was like, hey, you picking up now? She like, yeah, what's up? I'm sorry I missed your call, you know, the other night. I'm like, yeah, you didn't even call me back to school. She was like, I'm sorry. I got caught up with stuff. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you going to Junior thing? She like, oh, yeah. I'm like, you want to come pick me up? She like, oh, I can come pick you up. I'm like, stop. You gonna come pick me up? She like, oh, you invited? I'm like, yeah, we cool now. She like, yeah, you know, you was in a fight. What happened? I'm like, yeah, it was my fight. Straight up. I was like, it was my fight. She was like, but I didn't see you there. She was like, all I know is when I came out the building, she was like, I saw securities grabbing it, and the dude was like, it was a lot of blood. I'm like, a lot of blood? She like, yeah. So I'm like on the other end of the phone, like, oh my God, like, what is tomorrow gonna bring? What is tomorrow going to bring? Okay? So boom, she like, I'll pick you up. Just give me like 30 minutes. I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I know my mom gonna let me go. I'm doing good in school, you know, and everything is fine. So my mom is on the phone. I'm like, so she's looking at me. She's looking at me while I'm doing this. And she like, girl, yeah, cause I'm telling you, when I catch him, he ain't gonna have no legs. I promise you that. He gonna be handicapped. So I'm like she saw me. So I'm like, Ma, what? I'm on the phone. You don't see I'm on the phone? I'm like, yeah, can I ask you something? Okay, you could have asked me something instead of saying, can I ask you something? What? My friend having a pizza party. Can I go have pizza? I'm looking for your brother and you worried about a pizza party? I'm like, yeah, but I will only be an hour. I'm like, I won't be long, I promise. I'm like, oh, no, I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. I'm like, no, you're not doing everything you just got in trouble. I just gave your phone back. You're not doing. You just was at another class where you supposed to be. So I'm like, I'm sorry. She like, but then see, this was what I be talking about. Self. Hold on. I'm getting a call. And so she clicked over. And so she like, hello. And so she like, bring him in front of, bring him home. I'm finna bring him. Bring him home. I'm finna strike lightning. On him. Bring him home. So I'm looking like, oh my God. Like, I already knew instantly. Marky is found. Marky is found, baby. And my mama face went from regular light high yellow to all the way red tomato. She was heated and she was ready to roll. So I'm sitting up there like, oh my God. My mama like, you know what? You going on here, you got 1 hour. Where you going? And I need the address and the phone number. So I'm like, I don't got the address. So how you gonna get there if you don't know the address? I'm like, I was gonna ask my friend to pick me up. Okay. And your friend know the address? I'm like, yeah, but I know the number though. She like, okay. So I give her Piper number, right? Piper calls me. She pulls up. I'm like, hey, what's the address? She give me the address. I go in there, I write it down. So my mama say, you have 1 hour. So you better do 25 to 30 minutes having fun and 30 minutes getting back. I don't know how far it is, but you better hurry up from point A to point B. My mama was dead serious. So I'm like, oh, okay. She like, and you might see your brother and you won't recognize him. You better not ask me no questions. You got it. I'm like, yes, I got it. So I go outside. I'm like, I get to walking. So I see Beth. So Beth like, hey, where you going? I'm like, oh, I'm finna get ready to go to this little party thing real quick. She like, can I come? I'm like, wait, hold on. I'm like, hey, can my next door neighbor come? She like, yeah, she can. So I'm like, yeah, you can. So, you know what I'm saying? We dap. We cool. I'm trying to be chill. Calm down. You feel me? Like, I'm pimping with it. I'm sweet. I'm smooth as ice, twice as nice. I ain't trying to have a bad day in my life. Like, I got you on my back burner. You know what I'm saying? I got you. Come on, we cool. So, boom. Piper like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got a little something, you know, underneath my seat. Underneath the passenger side. So I looked, I'm like, ooh, some gummies. They was gummies. So she like, yeah. She like, my friend made it. She like, and on the side, and it was like some chips. And she was like, but it got, you know what I'm saying? Basically, that Zion that had to kill in it, but the butter to it, like, straight get you lit. So she like, you can eat something. I'm like, but it's like flaming hot. It's like, it look like real. All right, cool. So I'm banging them, right? I'm passing some to Beth, and she driving, boom, we pulls up. Now, when we pull up, look, the school is closed. We pull up to the school, but on the back end, and it's the football field. So I'm like, when we pull up, I'm like, why we at the school? She was like, oh, yeah, he got it right here. We finna get lit at the, what? So we up there turning up. So Junior like, oh, you made it. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, what's up? I'm like, hey, man, I appreciate for what you did. You know, you didn't have to do. He like, let me tell you. He like, who is this? I'm like, oh, this is my next door neighbor. It's cool if she can. Yeah, it's cool. So he straight up passed her a bleezy, not even lit. So I'm like, flame it up. I'm like, I'll be right back. He like, let me talk to you. So he put his arm around my neck. I'm like, what's up? He like, look, you know, when I was talking all that smack to you, and I was like, I was seeing your mom come up here a lot. Like, she came up here like almost back to back. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I was in trouble, remember? He like, yeah, but I was already talking smack, but Piper had kind of told me, like, you was here to only kind of, like, get, like, a credit or whatever, and your mom always be up your butt, and, like, she might be abusive and all. I'm like, wait, what? He like, yeah, you know, Legs kind of told me a little bit, too. I'm like, he like, and I didn't want you to get in trouble. So I took the blame. I'm like, yeah, but they talking about kicking you out the school. I'm like, I'm going in and I'm going to tell him it was my fight. He like, no, don't tell him. He like, I'll be good. I'll try to talk to them. Maybe they'll be light on me. I'm like, if they don't be light on you, I got your back. He like, all right, cool. I'm like, hey, yo, you was cool for that. I'm like, you was, I heard you had him leaky. He like, yeah, he like, but look what he did to me. And behind his ear, he had like a big scratch. He like, man, he started trying to choke me, all that. He need to cut them nails. So he like, look, come over here. So they had shots, right, on the bleachers. So it was like shots lined up on, like, so it was like 1, 2, 3, 4 bleachers, right? And it's like, you know, like those steps right there. So they like lining shots coming down the road. So I'm like, so it was pink. So they pouring a little juice in it. So I'm like, okay, like this is cool, right? So I'm knocking it back, knocking it back. So I see Legs. So Legs like, yo, I'm like, what's up? She like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. She was like, that dude was who? I'm like, yeah, that was the girl, Jazz. I'm like, yeah, Jazz. You know the girl that was at first sitting over there? Oh, yeah. Oh, it was her? I got some for her. So Legs like, wait till I see her. So I don't know what's going on, but all I know is it's about to get hot. It's about to be on and cracking. So they flaming up. Beth like, yo, this is cool. Like, you got a lot of cool friends. I'm like, I ain't gonna even lie. I just made these friends, you know what I'm saying? But me and Legs was shaky, you know what I'm saying? Me and Legs, we went through a little bit. We went through a little bit of the fire. So, boom, we all getting lit. So I'm like, man, Piper, you gonna take me home? She like, wait, we just not getting started. I'm like, yeah, but my mama said I could only be out for an hour. She like, an hour? We still got time. I'm like, yeah, like, I gotta be home in an hour. So, like, we ain't even been here that long. I'm like, can you take me home? And so she like, all right, give me 10 minutes. So we finished like doing whatever. So I tell Junior like, hey, thank you so much. I gotta go. He like, already? He like, all right, let's at least smoke this. So I'm like, it was, this was so big. I was like, yo, like, I'm not putting that in my back. Like, that is big. Like, that's like glizzy. I'm not putting it. So I was like, all right, like, I hit it. So he's like, all right, come on. So we passed. It was bigger than it was fatter than a Cuban cigar. Like, it was, I don't even know when did he find this even, how he even licked this stuff, even wrote, like, it was so big. So we passing it. So I'm like, I hit it twice and that's all I could do. And I felt like it felt like one hit was worth like 8 hits. So I was already in the zone. So I'm like, ooh, I felt it was like out of nowhere. It was like, and I felt it like, oh man, I feel it. First thing, I start getting paranoid, and then I'm looking for Visine. That's how I know that I done hit my peak. So I'm like, hey, Beth, you got some Visine? She like, nah, but we can stop. I'm like, yo, over there is like a store. We could go over there, like the gas station, whatever. We can go over there, and they might got Visine. I'm like, can you walk with me? So we going on here. We dip from over there. So Piper like, where y'all going? I'm like, I'm going to get Visine. She like, I'll take y'all. So we walk off. We all get ready to dip. Boom, we gets in the car. She takes us over there. I get the Visine. Boom, boom, boom. Skirt my eyes. I'm telling the whole time, saying the whole time, like, hey, do my eyes look red? Do my eyes look red? So Piper say, first off, you have to stop saying, do your eyes look red? They're going to look glossy. They're not going to look red because you put Visine in. I'm like, yeah, you're right. So boom, we pulls up in front of my crib. So I'm like, hey, I appreciate you. So Beth like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate the ride. And Beth gets straight out. So I'm like, I didn't get to tell you. You look nice, by the way. She like, you just saying that because possibly you high. I'm like, no. You do. You look nice. I'm like, so you going over there back to go hang with Junior? I'm like, ain't nothing wrong with that if you going back. She like, are you being like in my mix? I'm like, no, I'm not, like I'm not being like I was, but I'm like, I'm not being in your mix. I'm like, I was just asking a question because I was gonna just tell you to be safe. She like, I'm gonna be safe. I'm like, okay. I'm like, you gonna text me? She like, yeah. I'm like, so you going back over there, right? She like, maybe. I'm like, have fun. She like, it's nothing like that. I'm like, I'm not saying that. She grabbed me before I get out the car. She like, look, it's nothing like that. I'll show you. So she grabbed me and get to kissing me. And mind you, me and this girl ain't made no type of contact in a while. So she get to kissing me. She like, you was just too fine to be having a type of attitude and being so mad and worried about someone else. I'm like, I'm not worried about nobody else. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to see where you at. I'm like, and why you kiss me like that? She like, because I wanted to. I was like, all right. I'm like, I gotta go. So I get out, right? Boom, I shut the door. So Beth like, that's your girlfriend? I'm like, nah. I'm like, she just cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just smooth. She just cool. So, boom. She like, yo, I have fun. I'm like, hey, yo, wait, quick question before I go in the house. I'm like, do it look like I've been smoking? Now, I'm asking someone that's lit. Do it look like? That's like almost asking a drunk driver. You know what I'm saying? Do I look like I'm drunk? Like, they're going to say, no, you look perfectly fine. So she like, no, you look good. So I guess in the house. Front door now open. I hear the jacuzzi. So I'm like, oh, she in the jacuzzi. Like, it felt like a weight lifted off my shoulder. So I'm like, Ma, I'm home. She was like, huh? I'm like, I'm home. Huh? I go all the way up the stairs and go towards the door. I'm like, I just want to let you know I'm home. She like, you have fun? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I wish I could have stayed longer. She like, you should have called me. Maybe I would have let you stay longer. I would have extended your stay. So I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm like, plus I got school in the morning. I'm like, and then the weekend is coming. So she like, get ready to do my back. She like, come here. Bring your face to me. Let me see your face. So I'm like, that's the way how my mama talk. My mama like, bring your face. Let me see your face. Why your face looking like that? So, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially like if she see that I'm sad, she'll be like, why your face looking like that? Fix it. So I'm like, oh my God. So I'm trying to buck my eyes. I go and I'm like, hey, Mom. She like, you been smoking? And she stopped the thing. First off, that scared me. Because why would you just ask me that like straight up out the blue? You didn't even beat around the bush. You just come straight out. So I'm like, no. She like drinking. I'm like, well, I had one shot with my friend. She was like, okay, at least you telling the truth. Because I knew she wouldn't trip like that on the drink because she give me drinks. And I said, I only had one shot. And so she like, how you get back home? I'm like, oh, my friend that picked me up, she dropped me off. She like, okay. She was like, don't be out there getting carried away with the drinks though. I'm like, I'm not, Mom. She like, okay. She like, when is progress report coming? I'm like, they supposed to be telling us tomorrow. I'm like, when we getting it? She like, you better have that credit. You better, Rashawn, you better have that credit. Cause I'm holding up the end of my stick. I'm like, I understand, Mom. She like, come on, just knock my back out the way. So I wanted to ask her about Mark so bad, but I'm like, I'm gonna go check on her. So boom, I'm doing her back. So after I get done with her back, I'm like, I gotta go use the bathroom. So I go downstairs, but I didn't go use the bathroom. I go straight to Marky room. And I look in there, it's no Marky. So I'm like, where's Marky? So I go upstairs. I'm like, Mom, I'm like, did you guys find Mark? She like, mm-hmm. I'm like, okay. She like, okay. I'm like, you knew where he was at? Yes, he told me. I'm like, where is he? She like, why? Why you want to know? Why you want to know? So she gets out the jacuzzi as he straight up start the shower water. And she like, I'm finna get ready to get out, so she want to be in my business. I'm like, I just want to know what my brother. Like, I want to make sure he ain't not alive, my brother. So she comes out the shower and I'm like, she like, you want to know where he at? I'm like, he at Nana house. Nope. I'm like, where is he? She like, okay, since you want to be nosy, come here.